Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. We are going to jump right into today's math lesson. But before we do, I just want to remind you that tomorrow we have our Zoom meetings. I think for tomorrow, I'm just going to do a noon Zoom meeting and a 6 o'clock Zoom meeting. Since our 8 a.m.s, it seems like most kiddos are still sleeping. So we're going to go ahead and just do 2 Zoom meetings tomorrow on Friday. One at noon and one at 6, and I'll go ahead and remind you guys on Class Dojo as well, but I wanted to make that announcement on YouTube. Okay, we are going to jump into our math lesson right away. I'm going to be showing you some notes that we took last time in our IJs, but you don't really need your IJ. All that you're going to need is your Green Go Math book. So if you don't have that, go ahead and grab that really quickly, and I'm going to go ahead and jump into our lesson for today. Alrighty. Here we go. So last time we were talking about, let me try to fix this a little bit. There we go. Last time we had a math lesson, we were talking about picture graphs, all right? And we wrote that picture graph is a graph that uses pictures to show information. So for example, we made one, hold on just a second. There we go. We made one all about weather last time. And we used little pictures of suns to represent how many days had that kind of weather. So 4 of the days were sunny, 3 of the days were rainy, and 1 of the days is windy. And I know that because there are 4 suns next to sunny, 3 suns next to rainy, and 1 sun next to windy. So that's a little review of picture graphs, which is what we went over last time. Now today we're going to go over bar graphs, B-A-R graphs, like monkey bars, bar graphs. And in order to do that, we are going to start by opening up to page 181 in our green books. 181 in our green books, and I will go ahead and write that on top so it's easier for you to see. 181, just like that. Okay, on that page you should see little pictures of a couple different types of dinosaurs. When you get to the dinosaur page, stop. Okay. If you're not on this page yet, go ahead and pause the video quickly and then unpause me when you're ready, because I'm going to jump right into doing this page, page 181. Now, at the top of the page, you'll see it says making picture graphs, but we're actually going to be making bar graphs with this today. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to cross out picture, and I'm going to write B-A-R, bar graphs, making bar graphs instead of picture graphs. We would normally use this page for a little bit more practice on picture graphs, but if you're interested in that, go ahead and rewatch our picture graphs video. Today we're going to move on to bar graphs. Okay, so it says, which dinosaur do the most children like best? Ask 10 friends. And instead of drawing one circle, we're going to do something different. So I'm going to go ahead and cross that out. But it says, which dinosaur do most children like best? Ask 10 friends. Now, we're social distancing right now, so we can't ask 10 friends. So I'm just going to give you some numbers. Okay? So we have 6 kids that like the Tyrannosaurus the best, the T-Rex. We have 3 kids that like the Triceratops best. And we have just 1 kiddo that likes the Apatosaurus the best. Okay? Now when we are making a bar graph, we are making a graph with bars that match the number that go with it, and I'll explain what I mean by that. So at the end of each of these lines right here, at the end of each of these little squares right here, I'm going to write a number. So there's the end of the first square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Go ahead and do that, and I'll zoom in so you can see exactly where I did it. Right on the lines. So that way, if I colored in one box, it would line up with the 1. Or if I colored in 2 boxes, it would line up with the 2, just like that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the number that matches each dinosaur, like let's say 6 for T-Rex, and I'm going to make a bar or a rectangle all the way up to that number. So here's the 6, here's the 6. I'm going to make a bar or a rectangle that goes all the way up to the 6. If you've got some crayons, you can go ahead and color that in. I'm just going to use my pen here to color that in. So 6 kids like the T-Rex the best. So I'm going to make a bar or a rectangle that goes all the way up to that number 6. Now if 3 kids like the Triceratops the best, where do you think that one's going to go? How big are we going to make our bar? What number are we going to stop at? 3. So I'm going to make my bar just go out to the number 3. Again, if you want to color yours in with crayon to make it a little bit more colorful, a little bit prettier than mine, you can. I'm just going to use my pen for now. And then the last one I bet you can figure out. The last one, only 1 kid likes the Apatosaurus the best, so I'm just going to make it go to 1. I have a short little bar right there. And you, my friends, just made a bar graph. You took some data or some information and you drew a bar that went to the same number. So 6 kids like the T-Rex, I went to 6. 3 kids like the Triceratops, I went to 3. 1 kid likes the Apatosaurus, I went to 1. Okay? Now we're going to use this graph that we just made to answer 4 questions quickly down here. Okay? Let's start with number 1. Number 1, how many children chose T-Rex? Okay, well if I'm looking at my bar graph, I can see where it stops. It stops at 6, so 6 children chose the T-Rex. Does that make sense? You know exactly how many chose each one because that's where the bar stops. Let's try number 2. Number 2 is a little bit trickier, but we can do it together. How many children chose Triceratops and Apatosaurus together? Ooh, that one is tricky. Well, how many kids chose Triceratops? Think about it. How many kids chose Triceratops? Where does it stop? 3. And how many chose Apatosaurus? 1. And we want to know how many chose them both together. So am I going to plus or minus? Plus. 3 plus 1 equals 3. Plus 1 more, 4. That one was a little bit trickier. Hopefully that made sense. All right, number 3. Number 3. Which dinosaur did the fewest children choose? Ooh, we have not used that word fewest in quite a long time. So there's fewest or least, which is the opposite of most. So which dinosaur was the least popular? Which dinosaur did kids seem to like the least, or the least amount of kids liked? The T-Rex, the Triceratops, or the Apatosaurus? Well, the T-Rex had 6 kids that liked it. The T-Rex was super popular. Look how long its bar is. Triceratops was kind of in the middle. Which one had the least amount of people like it? Apatosaurus. I'm going to go ahead and circle Apatosaurus. And then number 4, which dinosaur did the most children choose? Which dinosaur did the most children choose? Well, that one is easy. Who has the longest bar? Who had the most kids choose it? The T-Rex. So I'm going to circle the T-Rex. Now, for number 5, it says write your own question about the graph. I'm going to make this extra credit. So I'm going to write EC right here. Extra credit. So if you can come up with a question that can be answered by looking at the graph and you write it down, I'll make that extra credit for you. But you don't have to do it. Okay? Let's take a look at the back of this page, page 182. Page 182 has a little bit of review on picture graphs, and it has some spiral review at the bottom. So that's going to go ahead and be your homework. We worked on bar graphs on the front. I think this was meant to be a picture graph page, but I turned it into a bar graph page. We worked on 181 together. Number 5 is optional. If you want to try it, you can, but you don't have to. And your homework is going to be page 182, which is right on the back. Okay? Again, if you have any questions, make sure that you send me a message on Dojo, and I will see you guys tomorrow at either noon or 6 p.m. You guys have a good one. Bye!